What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Real Estate Lab podcast. We are a couple of realtors in the Austin area. It's not a couple if it's more than two, is it? A few realtors in the Austin, Texas area, and we're here to talk to you today about neighborhoods. And we're going to deep dive. So it's going to be a little bit different. We're not going to just look at this neighborhood. It's going to be like a deeper dive and talk about what we like about these neighborhoods and why, and give you some real in-depth reasons. So let's go around and introduce ourselves. I'm Ian of Austin, everywhere on the internet. Thank you for coming to the show today. And to my left.
Hey everybody, JJ Tolentino, Next Level Property Group at KW Realty. Excited to talk about some neighborhoods. Maybe you've heard of them, maybe you haven't. Pass it on to Liberty.
Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I am Liberty Walker with Realty Austin, and this is an exciting episode because we all know that Austin's growing. Every day we hear it. But what neighborhoods specifically are we projecting are going to see some growth this year? So let's talk about it.
I love this. So, and this is one of those questions we get a lot. They're like, what neighborhood should we buy in? This is our price point. So I think this will touch on that a lot. Which of you would like to go first? Let's start there. Do you have something you can share? Ladies first? Let's do it.
Okay, so my neighborhood that I have chosen is in Cedar Park. And It is on I guess it's considered the west side of the old 183. Let me share my screen.
Thank you.
And this is going to be the site for a 40-acre new development that's going to be located right off of South Bell Boulevard. Okay. And so this neighborhood that you can kind of see here on this map, I've circled it because there are quite a few listings, but this is going right over here. If you can see, South Bell Boulevard is going to be the site for a gorgeous shopping center, retail, restaurants, and trails, dog parks, you name it, they're getting it. And so this past year, they have taken the initiative to go ahead and prep the site. So it's actually happening. It's a long process getting some of these, big things out of the way, like burying electrical lines and whatnot. So, but I just wanted to show some listings here that are under 500 that are available. This one is so precious. It's a renovated home in that area. Because if you were going to go out this weekend and scoop up a property, why not buy one that's lower than the median home sales price and in the future will be located next to such a great spot?
That's a cool looking remodel. I like the idea. Contrast.
And it's a good, I love that. Yeah, very modern.
They've done a really good job with the attention to detail here. This shower alone is just such an upgrade, you guys. Check that out. That accent wall, they're becoming more popular, but I just love that color. It's so cute. The floors are awesome. Definitely move in ready. So if you're an investor and you don't want to deal with doing upgrades yourself, or maybe you live out of state, a home like this where the location is just so amazing. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 baths.
They did a really good job with the kitchen. What year was this?
This home built? Was originally built in, drumroll, 1984.
Wow.
Yeah, they did a really good job with that one. Obviously, we don't know. It's not like we've done an inspection or anything on it, but
that's true.
It looks like they did a really good job.
And it's such a good point too, because maybe your search criteria, you want a newer home, but so you're like, I don't want to go tour anything older than 2000s. Well, guess what, guys? Some of these homes that were built in the 1980s have been renovated. They have all the amenities that you might get from a new construction home.
That's such a big brain concept right there. I love that. I love that you mentioned it. The fact that if you restrict yourself too much, you might be missing out on some pretty incredible opportunities.
Yeah, and I think in this market is easing up a little bit this fourth quarter, but it's hard to be super, super picky right now.
Mhm.
I advise my clients to cast a wider net, at least in the beginning of their home search. And that way, as they kind of go on through the process of looking for a home, you can kind of evolve and
Yeah.
and find what's important to you. So in the beginning, maybe see some more listings than you would up front, and then kind of disqualify as you go.
Mhm.
Yeah, you have to start a
So-
little bit more open-minded.
So what are the prices in that area? So that house was listed at what price point?
So that one was $499.
Yeah. See, and
Oh,
so the
469.
other thing,
It had a
another.
price reduction. Mhm.
Okay, so there are two things there that you just said, more big brain concepts. The 499. There are some people that start their price at 500, and they would have
Yeah.
missed it,
Yes.
right? So that's
Mhm.
issue number one. And yeah, and I also the second thing was the price reduction. I love that you mentioned
I
that.
actually went
because-
under contract there a couple weeks ago with the buyer. That street.
Oh yeah.
Milestone.
But yeah, so the
Yeah.
fact that there's a price reduction, I think you brought this up, Liberty, just saying that there are options. You can't be too picky, but do pay attention. How long did it take for them to reduce the price?
This one, I feel like it still hasn't been on the market that long. Now that
Right.
I've
Well,
looked.
that's
2 or
why I'm
3
asking that
weeks.
question. Was it right after the first
Mhm.
weekend of being on the market? They said, let's just bring the price down.
Let's see.
It's possible. I think
It is possible. I mean, it's
it
happening.
doesn't take a lot of time in this
36
market.
days.
Yeah.
36.
On
See, now I'm super curious about this. I mean, we don't have to go into it, but I am curious why they reduced the price. Okay. How are the schools rated on the websites? Is how I'll say it, because we
Yeah. Well, as we know, Cedar Park, some of Cedar Park is zoned to Leander ISD, which is a highly
Mhm.
rated school district, highly sought
Mhm.
after. And then
Saw
Cedar Park High School and those Vista Ridge High School, those are all rated 8 out of 10, 9 out of 10. So definitely check it out. I mean, sometimes not the ratings don't mean a lot to you, because specific things you might be wanting out of a school. So dive into what's really important to you when you're looking at schools. But if you're going to compare them to Austin ISD, they're rated higher than some Austin schools.
I had a guy, he just relocated here from Costa Rica. We closed last week, and he said, I don't care about the ratings. I care about the teachers. I care about the class sizes, and I care about my girls going to a school where there are a lot of different types of people. I was like,
diversity.
Wow.
It's
Diversity.
important. For a lot of
Mhm.
people. It is.
Yeah. So this that street has Milestone. Milestone has a higher build called Signature. Signature.
Yep, Signature Homes. Yep.
Signature Homes, and they have a few that they're building out there. You can see it starts in the 8s, and these things are on like quarter acres. They got a little, like, that street alone is its own cul-de-sac, and they got a few more, y'all. I think it's a solid purchase. And even more to the story of these buyers, we're looking at the Lake Travis scene and doing the Lake Waysteiner Ranch thing, and we just started looking a lot north in Cedar Park, and this seemed to check more boxes. It was more accessible into town. Schools,
Well, and
worked
for the
out very
price
well.
too.
Yeah,
That's
the
why
price.
I love Cedar Park, because it is so close to Austin. I mean, it
That
is
price worked out
really
well.
like 25 minutes from downtown.
I love that.
Out here.
That's a good one. That's a good area. Good choice. How about you, JJ? Can we move on, or do you have something else?
Good. I'm curious.
Liberty?
Let's see what you guys have.
All right, so I'm feeding off the recent news about Tesla moving its headquarters. Right?
What news about Tesla? What are you talking about, even? Huh?
More
Elon
news.
Musk had a
What's going on?
presentation, and he said he's moving the headquarters into Austin. It's not just the Gigafactory; it's the headquarters.
Yeah.
Whatever that means is whatever that means.
It's funny. I actually released a video this morning about that, like that exact thing.
Yeah, it's wild. I went east, and I felt like there's more opportunity here. because the schools aren't as good. In comparison, right? If you want to do an East-West thing, you can see some ratings different.
They're not rated as high on a lot
They're
of
not
websites
rated as
based
high.
on the criteria that they use to come up with these ratings.
Yes, and that
maybe they need better criteria.
And I just want to do a sidebar on that note about school ratings and stuff like that. Easton Park is a newer community, and sometimes new means unrated, and unrated doesn't always equate to poorly rated. We just don't have that data. And new schools and new districts will have a learning curve. New teachers, especially in times like now. So where people are half in, half out, attending, not attending. So I think the jury's out on Easton Park. I wouldn't discredit them just because of that.
Yeah, and even more to the point. Also, John S. says, we moved to Cedar Park from Seattle. We love Cedar Park. We also purchased Milestone as well. Boom. Milestone is a great. Man,
there you got it. Products. There you go. John S. is there to verify. Thank you, John.
Thanks, John. Thanks for chiming in too and sharing with us.
Yeah, so I think there is some growth here. So all I did was I pulled up a map here too, just to see what's close by. I also went new construction, affordable new construction as an option. The remodels are there too, and I just decided to go with this master plan community that we know as Easton Park here in Southeast Austin. So you can see the Google Maps, the Tesla Giga Texas factory is here off of 130, 22 minutes, boom, you're in Easton Park. So looking at a lot of this, and look at the availability. I don't know how soon these will be built, but there are some resales in here. You can see the year built. That's the builder promoting new construction, but you can see that there's a handful of resales that are available, and they do range from 300s to 700 plus.
Yep.
And I thought that was a pretty good.
And if one of you guys watching today are interested, I know that new build communities have gone through a lot of changes this past year in terms of what their process is for buying and purchasing a new construction home. If you guys have any questions about how to purchase one of these, please reach out, because I know I have a client waiting for their home to be built over there, and it wasn't as easy as you might think to get that thing under contract.
Let's click on one. Let's medium price point. Where are we at? High fives? Greater City, Austin?
Yeah, let's do it. I'd love to see some of those.
Let's say 589, this Kuwait 2017. Easton Park. So 2,200 square feet, listed at 589. Del Valley ISD.
Let's look at those pictures. I want to see inside that thing. Ooh, that is so cute.
I like the style. I was just there 2 weeks ago doing a contract. It's pretty impressive. Well,
and it's a master plan community. That's always the hot.
Yeah,
that is so true.
I was going to say that's the part that's impressive. Sorry.
They have a food truck park, and they have a duck pond and trails that are strategically placed throughout the whole thing. Everybody seems so cool over there.
Yeah, it gives the neighborhood a different feel when you have your trails and your pool and your fitness facility. Everybody has that activity
sidewalks.
Suburbs.
You know, I'm sure they have like community barbecues and fun stuff like that. All of that like really adds to living, to the quality of living.
What do y'all think about 2017 finishes?
A little upgrading, a little carpet, a little paint, and you know what, you guys, you got yourself a fabulous home. What year is this thing built?
2017.
2017.
I think there's an advantage
how quickly interior design gets dated.
I think there's an advantage there for people like Liberty who are artists and can like visualize what they want to do, because it's almost like a blank slate. Because you might not like what they had in any house. It could be built brand new. Well, it's kind of a waste if it's brand new and you want to change it, right? But if it's a little bit older and a little bit dated, it kind of gives you that justification to change it.
I love that you brought that up, because there are a few of my clients that are, picking out fixtures and stuff. But even though it's a custom home, sometimes things aren't customizable. You get to choose from A, B, and C. And so that's such a great point. It's such a shame when they're putting in those floors and you're just going to rip them up the moment you move in.
It is. Oh my gosh. And you don't save money either doing that. Rarely do you.
No.
Anything else about Easton Park, JJ? We've still got some time.
Yeah, I mean, I just like how they have different sections for, there's like a more condo product, there's single family, and even each neighborhood has its own little amenity space. They say like the West Side has a trail system, more commercial stuff. The East Side and the Union Park space is the one with the resort style pool and the big 14,000 square foot amenity community center. So I think it's a good spot. It's very interesting to build new where Tesla's at, because Del Valley was really slept on. I don't think Del Valley got any spotlight until Elon came through and decided to start building things.
Am I moving? Am I good? Is my internet all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
Sorry, I'm at a title company. We just had a closing and we finished our last signature at 2:30. So I had to jump right on. Okay. So the other thing is, say it again.
I said, that's commitment, Ian.
It is. I have to do what I have to do. So it's so the first thing I want to say before we answer HJ's question is Tesla, the Tesla community where they're building homes and they have Tesla solar roofs and power walls integrated. That's Easton Park.
Right.
So that's the first thing.
I have read about that, but I wasn't sure whether to say it or not. But I've seen some news about that.
I just went and took pictures of it because I was working on a video. I was working on a video for that, right? And so I wanted to see it in person, and they're pretty cool. Pretty cool little homes. Not little, they're
like
good
Elon or Tesla in the city. We know there's a housing shortage, and he understands that, and he's, Tony Stark or whatever, so he's helping out a little bit from what I'm hearing in regards to building.
It's also a genius move from a business perspective to put those things in there, because then you'll probably want to get a Tesla, right? Like it's pretty smart there. And then also with Samsung coming, sorry, it's not confirmed, but Samsung coming, you have that partnership between Tesla and Samsung. So the other thing I wanted to say about Easton Park is that you have the dog park, a huge dog park. I want to say it's an acre, or I'm sorry, I want to say it's 2. Say it again, 2 or 3 acres. It's a big dog park.
You got a big park, you got pocket parks, you got the trails. It's a pretty awesome space.
Yeah.
But it feels like the landscape when you're there, it feels like it's not flat. You can really see some distance. Like there's hills over there. Like you think of the Texas hill country being on the west side of I-35, but it definitely feels hilly in this area of town.
Yeah,
really
it is.
nice.
It is nice. So,
answer
HJ? Yep, you go ahead.
Do you see this community appreciating now that Tesla's here?
I mean,
Liberty?
I mean, it's sure not going to hurt, HJ. I mean, the proof is in the pudding, of course. Like, we don't know what the future holds, but I could not imagine things not just gradually appreciating there. I want to say too, like, I really doubt that once Tesla's broken ground and everybody moves in, I personally doubt that there will be a price increase that we've seen this past year, a doubling in 12 months.
Yeah, it's
JJ, what do you think?
This is the best way I could crystal ball this. When you follow around a billionaire and the type of economy they create, whatever Michael Dell did to Round Rock in the 90s is what Elon Musk is going to do to Del Valley in the 2020s, 2030s? Yeah, 2020s, 2030s, 2040s. So think about billionaire moves from 30 years ago and where we're at now. Does that make sense?
That's a really good assessment of how I think a lot of people think. But it's not just the billionaires, because corporations are like billionaire entities, multi-billion
tech
dollar
billionaires
entities too. But tech billionaires.
Yeah.
That's the key. Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Before I share it, I'm gonna start talking about it, and people are gonna be like, oh, "Really? This is so 2000 and late." The community I chose is called Wolf Ranch, and it's in Georgetown, Texas. And I have a lot of reasons why, and I don't think it's as common as people think, right? So let me go ahead and pull up this screen. Oh, that's JJ's. JJ, get your screen out of here. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing, man. I'm gonna pull mine up.
I was like, wow, that looks a lot like Easton Park.
It does. So let's start with the commute, because the commute's important for a few people, right?
Just a couple people. Deal breaker. I mean, it has been for some of my clients.
I'm gonna do this. So check this out. So it's on 35. That's the highway that people are always whining about having congestion. But look, even right now, so it's 29-minute drive. That's the difference between someplace like here or California or something else, where you hear about these Houston. Oh my gosh, you can't go, 20 miles in 30 minutes. You just can't do it. But here you can. And the congestion doesn't happen until you're hopping on 45 in Round Rock, right? That little red. So if you can go around it, you might be all right. You might be. So usually getting down to 45, and I'm heading to the Domain. I put the Domain because I figure, once you start living out in Georgetown, in that area, it's just think about your lifestyle shifts and family sizes, and the likelihood that you're going to go all the way downtown, unless it's for a festival like ACL that's happening right now. I see it. It's statistics. It's just the cycle of life. People do not want to go much further if they can help it, because there's plenty to do around here. There's the Lake Georgetown, it's a great lake. They have boats on there. You can camp around the lake, and they have a
downtown Georgetown. It's very nice and quaint, and it's like a nice town square.
It is. It's been rated for so many years the most beautiful town square in Texas, and that is right here.
Oh, I need to go see it. I don't think I've ever been to that.
Oh, it's awesome.
But I have been to Wolf Ranch, and I will tell you, those community pools are amazing.
Well, I'm going to get into that a little bit more too. So you see that there's a Southwestern University, a huge school over here, a huge university. You have your downtown, and you have an HEB right here. Here's one thing people might not know. They're building a whole new live, work, play area, kind of like a mini Domain right here in this area. And I forget what it's called. I have it written. I'm going to share it in my next video. But so right here, you're going to have all sorts of, like a Mueller, probably closer to a little Mueller, where you can shop, you can hang out, you can go see movies. And it's right across from here where you've got Target and Best Buy and those types of things. And they're putting a supercharger in right here too.
Oh.
Yeah, so a Tesla supercharger. So you have Blue Hole Park, not the same Blue Hole that's in Dripping Springs. This one is still a great escape for people on the weekend if you just wanted to hang out. And for the people that are around here, you have so much. You have coffee shops and antique stores, and I know they're not the same vibe, but that's what makes it different and makes it unique.
It's got that Texas town feel to it, but it's still so close to everything, really, within an hour away.
This interspace cavern,
like the better affordability play.
It absolutely is, and I'm going to show that here in just a second.
Georgetown, just the dollar looks good.
I'm going to show that in just a sec. So this interspace cavern, if you've never been there, they're mammoth caves, right? And so you can go in there and check out you can actually go spelunking if you wanted to, in your cave crawling and stuff. It's kind of crazy. And then you take 29, and you can take that straight up to the other new HEB and straight over to Leander, Cedar Park if you wanted to. So that's really good. So let's talk more about the neighborhoods over here. The cool thing about this neighborhood, it's actually really large. All this land that's not developed is already pre-planned and zoned for more residential. And so you have, you see Drees, for example. So if you wanted to buy a Drees home in Wolf Ranch, you can do that right now. If you wanted to buy a Lennar home, if you wanted to buy a Highland home, you can buy all of those right now, Coventry. I don't know if M&I is out there, but you have all these options, and then you have a lot of resale homes, and it gives you so much variety. And we talk about this all the time. Every neighborhood has a different tax rate, so that's really important to keep in mind when you're looking at these houses too. John S. says, we visited Georgetown last week, and it was beautiful. The topography was beautiful too. You are correct, sir.
Yeah, it's like kind of rocky, and you definitely have some of the rolling hills and things like that. And there's still some sprawling meadows with cows grazing, and you get a little bit of everything out in Georgetown, that's for sure. And if you haven't seen those Drees model homes, please go look at them. They are fantastic.
So we're running short on time, but I wanted to show some of these. So we're looking at prices. I'm going to sort by, I don't know what I want to sort by. Let me sort by list price.
Ooh,
so these are all active homes, right? So those were all active homes. Okay. And now I've got a couple that are pending, and I've got a couple that are closed. So you're seeing like this one here is listed at 409, closed at 409, like on 9/15. It just closed. It was built in 2021. See what I mean? Like there are options out here.
How many square feet is that one, Ian? Because I can't.
Off of it. I remember it being $225 a square foot. But and let's look at what some of these houses look like. So I'm going to click this one here. So this 304 Diamondback, 2021 build, 2,200 square feet, 550. Okay. But 4-bedroom, 3-bath. So check this out. It's a Highland home. Okay.
And who doesn't want to live on a street called Diamondback? Am I right?
Right. Highland is one of my favorite.
Texas street names.
Highland is one of my favorite builders because I believe Highland and Perry, maybe it's just Highland. I don't know. Highland has a woman CEO, and where that matters to me is that the design is one of their first thoughts. Like they have design, lifestyle engineers that go in and they like plan the floor plans so that they know that it's so cool. Like
and you can really see from those first two photos, Ian, that the utilization of space, I mean, everything's so open, and because some people might think 2,200 square feet, that's super tiny, but the way that it's laid out, like not all square footage is created equally, guys. Like,
that is correct. Absolutely. Not all is created equal. So you can see floor plan here, and it's in Wolf Ranch. And so the other thing, Liberty, so these are like pictures of Wolf Ranch and different like pocket parks. And
there it is, Ian. That's my fave. You can catch me there on the weekend. Let's talk about
that. They have multiple phases of Wolf Ranch, kind of like they do with Santa Rita Ranch and Terra Vista and all these like really large in Easton Park, these large communities. And so you're going to have schools built within the community. You're going to have multiple amenity centers built within the community. So that means you can't count the school ratings. They're all brand new, right?
They're so new. They're just not rated. But they're not rated. But what's important to you? You could walk to school. You could walk your kid to school. They could walk themselves to school. So really think about the value there. And with the amenity centers, I mean, once you're in there, you're a part of that community. You can rent those out for birthdays and just like have a grand old time. It's fabulous.
Well, and this one, because it has multiple pools, you can like there's multiple sections of Wolf Ranch. You can go to any of the pools. You're not just pigeonholed into the one, right? So if you have 7,000 people moving into that community, you're going to need more than one pool. Cool. All right. So I'm going to stop my screen share.
Great, guys. I'm excited. I got to get out there and check out some of these communities.
I like that HJ says that design matters. Why don't we give our closing thoughts? What do you have to say, Liberty?
I would say that, how much weight you give to those schematic drawings of plans in the future. I mean, just really, when you're choosing your future home, you have to definitely take some time, do your due diligence, find out what's coming around, because I mean, you might not want a huge mall behind your house, or that might just be your dream. So it's all up to the buyer.
Very good. JJ?
Yeah, I would say, you saw different options and you also saw different prices, and we're we're in the 500, 600, even Liberty pulled up 800 range. Even if you're not in that price point, if you're in the 4s or 3s, you have to prioritize, like figure out what's most important, because the Austin market, all these news reports, it's a lot of demand. There's still, I would assume, some upwards pricing pressure, more of it. But that doesn't mean you can't get what you want. Just know what you want and prioritize it, and call one of us to help you sort through how that looks in your house. What you got, Ian?
Like that.
So true.
I like to have my clients play a game, when they can't decide. So what I have them do is, let's say it's a partnership. I'll have one partner and the other partner both come up with 10 things that they want inside the house. So 5 inside, 5 outside of the house. And I want them to do it separately. Don't talk to each other. Do it separately, right? And then you come back together and you compare. Because that right there, once you do that, like you're talking 10 different things. Once you come back and compare, you'll realize where your priorities lie. You got to gamify it. And it's so much fun. So I do that. And oftentimes all 3 of these areas we picked ends up being something that fits the bill for most people.
That's awesome. Sounds like a game show.
It's
in.
Fun. So thank you very much for watching. Thanks for commenting. We appreciate that you all check out our show on everywhere, on YouTube, on Spotify, on Amazon. And we wouldn't do this if we didn't enjoy it. So thank you, everyone, and catch you next week.
See y'all later.
Catch you next week, guys.
Bye.